Welcome back to Fractures of Reality.
Hello.
In the last episode, Ryu learned that his grandfather is in Appalachia and immediately turned the cat around and started heading in that direction.
You
With
good?
that, with that out of the way, you all arrive in Appalachia. The town is exactly as you left it, though a little busier than before, as there's a large group of tents, and I'll draw a square where they are. Just tents parked in the orchards, like here-ish and here. Little areas where the people who've fled the city have made camp.
Okay.
So wait, that population number in the bottom right, that's kind of a lie now?
Yes, it's wrong. That's the population of people who live there.
Okay.
They're just camping here. They're not planning to move here permanently.
Oh, they're a group of travelers. It's not like a circus, and I was getting worried.
They're just staying.
Caravan.
They're just staying here while all the stuff in the Elf City blows over.
Ah,
They're not joining Appalachia. They're not moving to Appalachia permanently.
okay.
Okay.
Makes
Fair.
sense.
Anyway, you all arrive in the town. What would you like to do?
Ryu is going to quickly get off the island and run into the city. He'd look for his grandfather.
All right. Where do you look first?
I guess I can join him.
Okay.
He would first look in the first place he would look would be the inn.
All right. Well, you find him.
Easy.
I do find him.
Yeah. He's just sitting in the inn with a drink and a meal, quietly reading a book. He'd be at this table actually, over here.
Memories where we first met. Hat.
As soon as Ryu sees him, he calls out, "Grandpa!" And he
Oh.
rushes up to the table.
He closes his book, putting in a bookmark, of course, and he stands up and gives you a hug. Oh, I wasn't expecting you here so soon.
We came right as soon as we heard.
I did tell you there was no rush.
I know, but I'm just glad to have you back. I missed you.
Back is the strong word. I'm not really intending on rejoining your party for your adventures.
Well, you've
For
at
the
least
best.
you've at least gotten things sorted out, right?
Sure, I suppose.
Well, whatever the case, it's still really great. I'm still really great to see you again.
He pats you on the head. There. I am fine and hearty, as you can see.
Hey, Alnie.
Hello.
Hey, I
Yeah.
may look a little different.
He looks you up and down, and then he reaches onto his belt and then just tosses you a bag of holding. Here.
What's this for?
I said I'd give. I know you were eyeing them back when we were traveling together, so I got you one.
I already have a bag of holding.
Oh, in that case, he just takes it and then puts it back to his belt.
Okay. Yeah,
Uh,
I may look a little different. That's a entirely different story. But how have you been otherwise?
Well, I'm out 400 gold because I bought a bag of holding. But, I mean, what's one more for my collection?
You
If
collect.
it bothers you that much, dear, you give it to me.
He turns towards you and just says, "No."
Oh,
You collect bags of holding.
He
I
motions
expect.
to his belt, which has like I think it was 5 or 6 he had that are filled with books.
He has so many books. He has his own personal library of books.
I see.
So Flora like looks at it, has the bags of holding on his belt. He's like, does that take up a bunch of space? Can't you like put those bags of holding into your new bag of holding?
That's a
And for
really
Flora
bad
has
idea.
no idea what the implications of this are.
And I
That's
doubt you would know too, Cicada,
okay.
unless you want to roll Arcana.
I will roll Arcana just to make sure. 15.
All right, yeah, you're pretty sure that would make a black hole.
Yeah, that's a really bad idea.
Yeah.
Like, imagine putting one space into another space. That's like something akin to how a cold front meets a warm front and makes a tornado. It's disastrous.
It
Flora
is hand.
looks perplexed. She's like, I don't see how that's an issue. You just put bags inside other bags.
She's saying that if you try to put a bag of two bags of holding into one, and if you try to put a bag of holding into another bag of holding, it'll kill it'll it'll kill people all in within a certain range.
Well, no, that's
I'll
not what
create.
it happens. But by all means, if you all wish to continue theorizing, that's fine. I can always just tell you later.
Okay.
Simply
So
put,
yeah.
it's a great way to escape from this reality. You'll be transported to the astral plane, and you'll have no way to get back.
Yeah, we've been through that already. Let's not have a repeat, hmm?
Uh,
Go through that again.
so
Long story.
so Grandpa,
Yes,
what are you planning to do now?
I'm planning to catch up on my reading and maybe head home because I do have a house. Well,
I'm
I
sure
suppose it's more of a tower, but I digress.
I'm sure Mom would be glad to see you.
Yes, I plan to go visit her.
Flora thinks for a bit. She's like, well, if bags of holding are so dangerous with each other, then isn't it kind of dangerous to have them like next to each other on your belt?
It's when you put a bag of holding inside of another bag of holding. If they're right next to each other, there's no harm in it.
Elnate brings his hands together and simply smiles as he says, "Like I said, it's a good escape route."
We used a portal as an escape route once, and it didn't go well.
Yes, well, you
Yeah.
only tried it the once. That's not exactly a good sample size, is it?
She
If
kinda
you
motions
if
towards her numerous insect-like mutations.
if you saw the world we ended up in, you would understand.
He rubs his temple and then he says, "I'm not getting rid of my bags of holding because you're scared of them. Okay?"
That's fine.
Chlor-
If he's had him
Chlora,
for this long, dears, you probably don't have anything to worry about. He knows what not to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Besides getting lost, that is. She grins.
it's it's really yeah, it's really no big deal, Chlora. You'd have to be really stupid. You'd have to be really stupid to even try to do that in the first place, which is why we're never letting you hold two bags of holding at once.
Flora's going to try to determine if if it's an insult or not. So you're saying I'm stupid?
Well, you
Stupid.
have. Well, you have tend to have a lot of trouble reading the room.
Jezebel walks over to Ryu and flicks him on the forehead.
But-
Stupid is a very mean word, dear. Let's just say she's
Just
very curious, alright? Never call a lady
uninformed.
that. That's so very rude.
All right. Sorry.
You'll never get a girlfriend like that, dear.
Chloe just has
Okay,
this confused look. Is there something in
moving
the room
on.
that's supposed to be red?
Moving on.
Hey, I have hundreds of years ahead of me. Yeah, I've got plenty of time to look for a girlfriend.
Mm-hmm. Make sure you treat one right, then.
What makes you
Okay.
think I wouldn't?
You just called one stupid, dear.
Okay, guys, I'm gonna break this up. We're getting off track.
When have we ever
This is-
been on track?
Eh,
What is a
Jezebel kind
track?
of shrugs.
Do you mean like wagon tracks?
eh.
Jezebel just chuckles and then she looks over to Ellie and then she goes, "So, how was your time with Lady Rura?"
I mean, I met her the one time and then I left.
Did she seem well?
She seemed well enough.
In your village?
I don't live in the village per se. I live just outside of the forest. I find it's too loud at night. All the animals, yowling and howling.
Well, as long
You-
as she's alright then.
He nods.
And you, dear? Will you be alright then?
Who was that referring to?
She's still talking to Ellie.
Okay. Yes, I'll be fine. I'm just going to head back home and get some raiding in. I've
Then,
confirmed
well,
that
you have
there's.
contact.
Well, you know where I live. As for
Exactly.
As for the Kitsune, I've been able to confirm that there are no more temples that I've been able to find. So as far as I can tell, we've destroyed the last of them.
No.
Alright then. So
That's-
then may I pitch a question to you real quickly?
Yes?
She places a hand on Ryu's shoulder with the grin. She goes, "Am I explaining why?" And then she turns him around. Yeah, your grandson here is gaining more tails. Is that a natural thing? I'm very curious. Now that finally things are kind of out in order, so to speak, I would like to know what this is. She points to the tails.
Oh yes,
You're
that's
only-
perfectly normal.
You're only just wondering about that now?
Oh no, dear, I've always wondered since you started growing more. She says as if it was matter of fact. We never had the right chance to ask.
As a kitsune grows in power, their tails grow to represent it.
So the whole growing 9 tails is actually real.
He nods.
Yes. Didn't you see my mom?
Just want to see if it was exactly hereditary or it's because you're so is it hereditary or it's just because he's growing stronger on his own?
It's. I'm sure my pact with Alex has a lot to do with it. But if I were, one way or another, yes, I am becoming more powerful.
Ooh, that means you could be as strong as your mother.
Eventually.
That's interesting. I always wondered about Kusunes and their tales. I've heard tales from Kagura with Lady Rura, but I only thought that it was just because of him.
Well, Kagura's a kitsune too, isn't he? I mean, that means she's traveled with one just like you are.
Yes, but I've never seen Kagra. Only ever seen Lady Rura and a couple of her compatriots. It's not very often that I see them. Vienna's a bit of an exception. She pops up when she wants to. Of course, my father's a given, and then I chose to follow Lady Rura. But I haven't exactly seen the others very often as I used to, and to be fair, I don't remember seeing Kagra.
So, to be clear, roll me a history check, actually.
Uh-oh. Mouse. Mouse? Oh, there it goes. That's why my mouse died. I was like, I just charged you. I know, that's sort of the back of my hand.
It was when you were very, very young, but you did meet Kagura once. You didn't talk to him, you didn't really interact with him, but you saw him once.
Hmm.
And he looked
kinda like tapped-
regal, and he looked very regal and very kingly.
Hmm. She kind of taps her chin. She goes, I think I might have remember seeing somebody that looks almost like you. Maybe the tail wise. It might have been him. To be honest, I was very, very young. Maybe that's why I liked Tails so much, because he actually looked quite handsome. Those tails were actually very majestic.
So you just like the tails.
I mean, isn't that obvious? I love Ren's tail.
Out of character, who's
The red panda.
Oh.
The cartographer.
and you and that fracture of yours went after my tails when we first got those.
To be fair, dear, I thought you were an ally to help me out with my mission. She says with a bit of a smile. But also, yeah, I did find your tails kind of cute.
I guess I was, and I just didn't know it.
That's fine.
Anyway.
Not many are supposed to know. Not many are supposed to know my job anyway. And then she like glances at Elney with a bit of like a satisfied smile, knowing that he seems to be okay and that he'll be all right. And then she looks back to Ryu and she goes, "Now, my other question." And then she gives grabby finger. She goes, "Can I touch your tails?"
Oh,
Oh, you're so stingy.
This is nostalgic.
but every time you jump me, I can't breathe.
Well, this time I'm only gonna squeeze your tails, not you.
It still hurts. It still hurts though.
Can I just stroke it? One little stroke.
Well, those
How good-
two are.
How good are you with a brush?
Well, those two are.
Go ahead.
Rura,
Well, those
then,
two are arguing, and
Rura, then Cicada.
Jezebel was-
Yeah, she got so she goes, I stroke dear Cicada said all the time. I'm not that rough.
Okay, Cicada.
Okay, since those two are basically arguing with each other, I'm gonna continue talking to Elnath.
Okay.
So, a lot's happened since last we met. It's good that you're doing well.
Well as one can when they've discovered that they're apparently not who they thought they were.
Yeah, I kinda get that too, honestly.
At least I can say I'm not an elf anymore. That's a bonus.
I mean, I'm still
You-
technically a Kenku, but... Eh,
I'm technically not Vulpin.
that's
Are you-
a whole other kettle of worms. Eh,
Yeah. Are you about that? Are you sure you're gonna be okay, Grandpa?
Yes, I'm fine.
I mean, yeah, he seems totally fine with this.
Uh.
As long as you don't get kidnapped again.
I don't think that's gonna be a problem anymore.
Yeah, true.
Exactly, Jezebel, exactly. Well, is there anything else you required?
Not really. We just wanted to say hi, check up on you, see how things are doing.
He nods.
Maybe
Well,
catch up a little bit.
I don't have a lot to add myself. I'm just going to. I just wanted to see you, have, um, Ryu. Bleh. I just wanted to see you, Ryu, before I went and headed back to home.
I'm. Well, I'm happy to have gotten to see you too, Grandpa. It's been too long.
I suppose it has been a little bit of time. He gives you another pat on the head.
But as long as it was time well spent.
I, I won't lie to you. I was just reading.
Yeah.
Well, that's still a coping mechanism, right?
Yeah, he hasn't changed much
Nope.
compared to the rest of us.
Yes, you're all kind of weirding me out a little bit. I'll admit.
Sorry.
You sure that? Well, well, Chlora and her parents, are rather unpredictable.
Right.
Not to mention going to a whole other dimension and was being stranded there for life. Jezebel says with a shrug.
I think he's talking about well before that. Remember he wasn't with us for very long after we came back from that world.
He was gone before we went into that world there. And to be fair, me, Cora, and their Corax were in that world a lot more longer than you were.
Don't remind me.
He helped us get the stone we used to bring you back.
Yes. And of course, I'm grateful for that.
I
By the
thought I
way-
did get to see more of my homeland.
You watch as
By the way,
he
I'm not wrong.
watches you all talk for a bit, and then he sort of finishes off his food, finishes off the last of his drink, grabs his book, puts it into his bag of holding, and stands up. Well,
Yeah.
I suppose I should get going then.
All right.
Okay.
I think it's time we work out our next move too.
Yeah. It
Well-
was nice seeing you again, at least.
Next move or not, do be sure to take regular breaks. You're not
Yeah.
mindless machines after all.
True.
One more
I can
thing,
make
dear.
some.
Jezebel says as she smiles to Elnith, and she says, "Don't be surprised if I come check up on you now and then. Now that I know what you are, Lady Rura might ask me to come see to make sure you're doing all right.
Oh, good God. He sort of
It is
gives
part of my job."
He sort of just gives a smile at that though. Like it's more of a, oh, God damn it. You know.
That reminds me. We met at Tabaxi in the Elven City. Who seemed interested in dragons, and so we didn't get a lot out of him, but he knew my name.
Well, I mean, you are a party of adventurers. Perhaps he's heard of you before, or perhaps he purchased the information from the Rogues Guild after running into you the first time.
I have a feeling he might know more than.
I don't know
Right.
any Tabaxi myself, but he shrugs. I mean, I know
He-
some Tabaxi, but I don't know that many. They're not exactly a common species.
Well,
Don't worry
we
about
had-
him, Jezebel says with a shrug.
it has been a while. Chances are he's long since gone from that area, and is taking
Yeah.
care of taking care of that hatchling somewhere else.
Right. Well, it was lovely seeing you all again, and you know where to find me if you require my assistance.
It was great seeing you after all this time, Grandpa.
I'll be around if you need me. And he gives you a
Talk
final
to you
hug.
later.
Oops.
Ada.
Alright.
Oh,
Before that, Neku, let me just wrap up this scene really quick. Is that alright?
Yeah, you're fine.
So, he gives you a final hug, Ryu, and he glances to Jezebel with sort of like a suffering look, and then he heads out.
okay. Bye.
Take care.
Jezebel
Talk to you
just
later.
He gives you a
Jezebel just
wave.
grins.
He gives you a wave, Cicada. That's all.
Jezebel grins as he leaves and looks at you. She goes, "Now I know where you got that look from."
Be safe,
Alright.
Grandpa.
Now, Neku.
Cicada.
Yes?
You got a moment?
Now I do.
Okay.
Do you need something?
Yeah, I wanted to test something. I need someone to test it. Mind?
Sorry, you're breaking up.
Do you
I said I
have a
needed to
fan on
test
or
something.
something?
Oh no, my internet.
No, it's not you. Do you have a fan on or something, Neku?
Let me just get up.
I'm sorry. My Discord is roboting quite a lot. Ah,
Right, someone else is having issues with Discord too.
okay. Okay, now it's not roboting anymore. Could you repeat that?
I said I need. Charlotte looks this. I need a test.
You need to test something?
Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
lot better. You're coming in a lot clearer.
Okay.
Mind if I test? Mind if you help me with that?
Okay. Since we have more free time, apparently.
Okay. Meet me in my workshop later on.
Alright.
I'm gonna go check on some people. You guys have fun.
Okay.
So, am I to assume you're checking on your crew and your family?
Yep.
Alright. So, are you guys okay if I do a scene with Neku real quick?
That is perfectly fine.
Cool. Alright. So, Neku, you meet up with your crew roughly in this area. They're set up in a circle of tents around a smaller tent that is housing your family. They got a few guards posted, but for the most part, they're just like you can see a couple of the more nobody much more fun need to be. So yeah, you find a couple of your crew, discussing what to do, that sort of thing. And your parents, when they see you, immediately stand up and run over to give you a hug.
Hey, Ed.
Oh, thank heavens, I was so worried. Do you have any idea how much trouble you're in?
No. Really?
How long has it been since you've even sent us a letter or told us if you're even alive?
It's been really hectic.
That's no excuse, young lady.
Charlotte just pops back.
Your father sort of After they both hug you, he sort of stands up into the side and mostly lets your mother handle the conversation. Though he does briefly interject with saying, you're still not what, hold on, words. Blah blah. You Are you still working for the are you still a soldier?
In a way, I've been discharged, I believe. But people still listen.
He looks rather displeased with that information and he turns his head away.
Over the night, Dad. Or I guess Peter would be better for you.
Your mother immediately, like, she pushes your cheek, like, saying, don't talk to your father like that. Look, we finally reunited. And don't do this, both of you. Do you know how long it's been? No word, nothing to tell if you were even alive. We'd heard rumors that a rabbit had been seen in the town and we were hoping it was you, but you never came to visit. And, you know, now, Neku, you know that's a lie. You did come to visit, but they weren't home. And you even left a note.
Odd. I visited the house. It was empty. No word of where you guys either. I guess that runs in the family.
We went to the store. When we got back, all that you left us was a note. You didn't even wait around. Like an hour or two, or even just a day. If you'd waited around, we could have met up with you. But, you know, you were just already off and wandering on your way and just... She gives a long sigh and says, it's okay. It's okay. You're back now. That's what matters.
Had
Pardon?
I had to help the city, and that's what I was trying to do.
And your father speaks up and then he says, I thought you were discharged.
Peter, there's a lot of things you don't know about morality you've lost as.
Don't take that tone with me, girl.
After seeing so much death and rage and sorrow and hatred, I guess I became more cynical.
He just shakes his head at you and just says, you really haven't changed a bit, have you? Always
You thought the
blaming
military would do
everything
it?
else, never even taking a smidgen of the blame for yourself. He turns his head away and then says, do what you want, and walks away. Well, so, I know we're intense at the moment, dear. Jasha. I know we're intense at the moment, but you will be coming back with us to the city, right? We've kept your room just as you like it. We haven't touched any of your knickknacks.
You mean my inventions?
Yes, your knickknacks.
Like, my grandma helped me hard in. You call them knickknacks?
Are they not knickknacks? They're odds and ends. Things you've worked on or half finished knickknacks. She smiles at you. She doesn't really understand.
No, I get that part. Charlotte just shakes her head and their dreams and visions a little difficult to I won't be. Sorry,
Could you repeat that?
I said I won't be coming back.
Okay, thank you. She looks to you and then says, "Oh no, of course you're coming back. I mean, your home was
Charlotte?
with us."
Charlotte just kept silent for a bit, and she rests. Charlotte's actually naturally shorter than the rest of her family, so she actually rests like her hand on her mom's lower shoulder.
You wouldn't leave your old mother to rot away at home with no one around while your dad is off working, would you? What's she coming home? I mean, who else
I'm
am I
still
going to give our estate to or anything? I can't give it to you if you're not around.
There's something I learned in my travel, Mom, and that you can't cage a soul or force them to do what they want to. You gotta let them live.
I don't really understand. You are living, breathing, you're still alive. I'm not going to starve you. What do you take me for? I'm going to feed you, and I'll help make you clothes. I'll even show you how to sew your own clothes. You're finally old enough for that, after all.
When Dad made me go to the military, you didn't stop him. You know I didn't want to go. You know I wanted to make more items. I wanted to fall into grandmother's footsteps. You made me go into Dad's.
It was good for you. You got some experience and you learned more about the world. I mean, it made you strong. You've got your father's
I agree with
strength. I can see it in your eyes, and you wouldn't have been able to be this strong without it.
Well, that
And
part is true.
and you needed to save money for the knickknacks after all. I mean, how else were you going to pay for them? I can't always just pay for them for you. Eventually, you're going to need to pay me back for them. I'm not saying it has to be monetary that you pay me back, but you do have to pay for the materials and all that, and the military would have provided you with that funding. You should have plenty of money saved up now. Unless you've been spending it, but if so, that's fine. You can just get a job as a guard in the city and slowly save up so you can work at your knickknacks. Maybe we can eventually save up and get you a little store nearby. Won't that be fun? I know a baker down the street. They've been looking for someone to help with the store, and I bet if you talk to them, you could probably help them make some automatic inventions for making more baking stuff. Like, I'm sure they'd love that.
Mom, you, gotta, you have to listen. Listen to what I say.
I am listening, honey. That's why I'm going to do this for you. I'll talk to the baker, and I'm sure he'll want to talk to you, and you can show him some of your knickknacks.
Enough, please.
The smile on her face slowly falls.
I can't stay in this house. I'm around. I'm not gonna ask you to choose. He's disappointed, shamed, and in a way, I am with him. I can't. I'm not going to. I'm gonna find my own world. Grandma got you that.
1 second, Neko. Horax, can you
I
please
know.
mute yourself if you're going to be coughing? Thank you. It's really loud. Okay, continue.
I have seen much of the world. A lot of it is pain. Wanted to fix. That's what my adventures for. They're not for monetary gain or stabilization. Like Grandma, when she first introduced technology to Elf City like that, she wanted to change the world. That's what I want to do.
And
I'm
you
going
can
to.
change the world, dear. You can change it and also earn money so you can live comfortably. I mean, you're not going to be young forever. Who's going to take care of you when you're older? Are you going to find a man to take care of you? And you're going to need someone. You're going to need something more connections. You're not going to be able to survive on your own. It's
I
fine,
won't.
dear. It's fine. Don't worry. She gives you a pat on the head and rises. I'll sort everything out. You just come by later on. Okay? You go do your silly little adventuring thing, and when you're done with that, just come and find me and we'll get you all sorted so we'll find you a strapping young man and you can live your life tinkering away. I'm sure we can find some low class noble that'll be willing to take you in. Because you are. And she cups your cheek and rubs it and says, "You are really quite beautiful. I'm sure we can find someone interested in your beauty." And she stands up and heads back into a tent and says, "Alright, well, it was lovely seeing you, and do come by before you head out for your your adventuring. And when you get back to the Elf City, I should have everything ready for you. Love you."
Charlotte doesn't say anything. She watches her go.
She heads back into the tent and starts writing down her plan.
Charlotte just walks out and looks over to her comrades. Bye.
You hold on, let me I forgot to pull up their names 1 second.
It's fine.
Helicopter parrots. Ah!
I'm just going to. So, the second in command of your crew walks up to you and then says, "Do you want me to punch her?"
She means well. Just her heart's wrong.
Doesn't mean I shouldn't punch him.
I asked you to help them. Don't hurt.
The woman goes, "Fine, but only because I like you."
I appreciate. Sorry for
It's fine. You've saved my life times over.
an overbearing mother and a very callous father. Have some hassle.
I mean, every family's different. Still, you should probably get going before she brings out the chains. They whisper this bit, and a few of them chuckle at their joke. Like, they're clearly joking.
Yeah. I just better heart. Yes. Charlotte sighs and starts walking away. Thanks, guys.
They give you a lazy salute. Aye, aye, Captain.
Then she'll head back to the inn or wherever we're trying to meet up at.
Sure thing. Alright, so before I move on to Cicada and the invention machine soul experiment thingy. Sorry. It's looked at. So, before we move to that, Clorax and Chlora and Jezebel. Is there anything you guys would like to do?
I've typed what I'm doing. I have typed what I'm doing. Up in the chat. Basically, just finding a quiet spot to just meditate, clear her head, and basically just listen for any order is from on high, as it were. Because yeah, Korax has no real thing that she needs to do at the moment.
So you meditate and get in some of that prayer. Is that what you're doing?
Yeah.
Okay. If you decide you want to do something, just let me know, alright?
Yeah. Like,
Jezebel.
the thing is, well, honestly, that's just part of it is Korax doesn't quite know what she wants.
Fair enough, fair enough. Alright. Flora, is there anything you would like to do?
Not really, but this is the moment where and she transfers back to Redemption Paladin officially.
Okay. Flora.
Oh,
Clara is practicing her instrument, and I want permission to bust Clara's charisma more, but I don't think that's allowed at the moment. Like, if there was something that would make her better at charisma, even though she's already amazing at it, I
I
might
mean,
want her to do it.
you can't just go, I want +2 to charisma. You have to earn it.
Yeah, I know.
So how do you want to earn it? Think on that.
I don't know.
Because
Okay.
I'm not just going to give it to you. You have to earn it.
Okay.
Jezebel.
oh, Jezebel's not really sure what to do with her free time, but she is going to stop by the Thieves Guild and then touch up with everybody and see how things are going.
You head to the shoe store and you meet up with your lovely friend and acquaintance. Because, you know, you allies is a strong word. But
Acquaintances.
you meet up with Burton.
Now he's my friend. So Jezebel thinks.
Friends is a strong word too. Burton would use acquaintance.
Yeah. She throws her arms up. Bertrand, I'm alive.
Congratulations.
Let me tell you, my associates are very interesting. They're that processor to make it quite fun and makes it a little bit more risky than I would like, but we managed to get through it.
I am honestly quite impressed with your efforts then.
More so the
Though
efforts
the
of
real
my,
battle
of my
has yet
party
to
to be.
begin.
Oh? Do tell.
A civil war doesn't just happen overnight. Those were ordinary citizens. They're not going to immediately grab pitchforks and fire, you know? The real ones to worry about are the nobles.
Yes, figured as much. Nobles aren't one to just turn tail and run at the last second.
In the end,
They want to fight to keep what they have.
it's not really my business who runs the city. Someone will be crowned atop. Whether it's a noble or whether it's not, someone will be found and made the king. Or queen.
True. But the goal wasn't always just to crown somebody else at the city. It was more so to make sure we stopped the drought.
You need someone on the crown, and the reason is simple. Without someone to act in the best interests of all, the nobles will continuously vie for power. They need that. The king was never in power, they were just a figurehead. But they were a figurehead that all the nobles could try and please to earn more favor.
So you're recommending that we, simple adventurers, try to put somebody that we believe is for the best interests on the crown?
What? No, of course not. I'm just talking to you. Why would you think I'm telling you to do anything? I'm a rogue. What do I care who's on the throne?
That's all. Because technically, I don't quite care either. But Dear
he
Clark's
just-
family is there taking control, trying to settle the masses, so to speak.
I mean, you can settle the masses all you want, but the fact of the matter is someone is going to need the throne. And until the
True.
nobles decide who will be on the throne, conflict is just going to continue to arise because think of it like introducing a new rooster. Each noble is a rooster, and they're going to fight to become the head rooster.
If she makes a face, nobles are so weird sometimes, but all right.
In the end, to talk to a noble, you just need to remember one thing. It's all about the money.
True. She gives a bit of a shrug. Well, besides the politics of elves, are there any interesting jobs that I should know about that I should probably go take up? Because I am suddenly finding myself with free time.
I will see if I can scrounge up some work for you, but at the moment, no, we don't really have a lot.
All right then, sounds good.
It was a rather sudden move after all, and we're still setting up the shoe store.
Oh, of course, of course. I guess I'll just probably chill for a bit. Oh dear. She makes a bit of a face. She goes, I wonder if I should go visit my family. It has been a little bit.
Sounds to me like you've got adventurer syndrome.
Oh.
You've been fighting and adventuring for so long, you don't know how to sit down and spend 5 minutes doing something relaxing. He actually leans over and gives you an elbow at that. And elbows you lightly at that.
She sighs in exasperation and leans back to start singing. She goes, You're probably right, dear. What with the fact that we've been traveling for constantly the entire time we've gone together, gone to travel to a whole other different dimension, stayed I don't know how long in a place that wanted to kill me 24/7, gained a new look, she points to the scales on her face, tried to save a city and stop a war that we had not completely stopped yet. You're probably right.
Well, best of luck with discovering what you're going to do with your spare time. He almost seems deviously amused. And you get the impression that he's going to withhold jobs just to make your life a little harder.
Isabel narrows her eyes at him and she goes, Bertrude, I do not like the look on your face.
Oh, it's fine, don't worry. I will let you know if any work turns up.
Dear Bertrand, I have always held you to your word, but this time I feel like as if maybe I cannot. I'm going to do a quick insight check to see if I can figure out if he is or he isn't.
Sure. Oh, nah, yeah, he's totally going to withhold jobs just because he wants to mess with you.
She gives a sigh as she gives him a knowing look.
He would eventually give you
This is the last...
I will say this, he would eventually give you work. It's just he's going to delay it for a day or two just to mess with you a little.
She, again, keeps her eyes down. She goes, this is the last time I try to confide in you, dear Bertrand.
Well, you are confiding in an information gatherer.
Aw, we not friends, dear. I can't confide in a friend of my woes.
He sort of pauses at that and then says, and as your friend, I will make sure you get a proper break. And at that he grins, since we are good friends, as you say.
Isabel's eye kind of twitches a little bit, and then she just leans back and she goes, fine, whatever. I appreciate it.
He sort of gives
she's being sarcastic.
He gives a delighted smile as he says, great. Well, I'll let you know if any jobs turn up. And he is being truthful now.
Well, at least she knows that. So she goes, yes, thank you. And then, there's something I want to do. I forgot what I wanted to do.
You'll remember it.
Yeah.
I'll finish that.
One more thing. And she stops for a second. She turns, she goes, wait, do you have any, well, let's see if I can pinpoint it down. Snow leopard tabaxi. Ring any bells?
Snow leopard tabaxi. They think for a moment. Oh, yes, I do think we actually have one working for us. And he sort of pauses
Oh.
for a moment and looks. Roll me an inside check.
Another one? Okay, fine.
I mean, you rolled the last one. This is me asking this time. You're not
13.
sure, but you get the impression he's hiding something.
She slightly narrows her eyes, and then she goes, "Can you tell me,
That
will he
info-
hinder?
Oh, go on.
Will he hinder the job that I've been chosen for, or will he help?"
Oh, he'll do neither. He's retired.
Recently retired?
I mean, I think it was about 100 years ago that he officially retired. Maybe 50.
She kind of like makes the noise of surprise for a second, and she goes, "Huh, interesting. All right then. As long as he doesn't hinder me, then I have no problem with it. Thank you, dear."
I mean, if you wanted more information, you could always. And his eyes drift towards your very heavy coin pouch. Hey,
Of course, she sighs, and then she goes, "How much?
200 gold.
How much?"
200 gold.
She again rolls her eyes and then pulls out the money, puts it in a small, like little bag, the 200 in the little bag, and then tosses it to him.
He takes it and then he says, "What you just met was the leader of the Rogues Guild."
Her eyes widen, and she goes. She kind of like looks suspicious. She goes, "Come again?"
Yes. Though he's retired now, he was once the leader of the Rogues Guild. And it's thanks to him that our connections go so far.
Huh. She still looks kind of disbelieved. She goes, "I drew a sword on the leader of the Thieves Guild."
That you did. And he sort of puts his hands to his chin as he leans forward in interest at this. So yes, that is why that information was worth so much.
Oh, I'm glad I know now. So that perhaps next time I don't pull a sword on my employer.
Yes, that would be rather unwise, though I hear he's rather eccentric.
Oh, I got that when we briefly talked. Would have been nice if you kind of mentioned. Anyway, thank you, dear Bertrand. I will keep in mind for next time and know that he's definitely not a threat.
He's rather busy trying to not do things to be a threat, shall we say. He's suffering. He was suffering the same thing as you, shall we say. Adventurous syndrome.
Well, glad that he doesn't hold a grudge and we have something in common at least. Safe
But
to
yeah.
say that my employment with the Thieves Guild is still in good standing, yes?
Yes, it is. He hasn't
Good.
made comment, and in fact, I wouldn't have known that you tried to stab him unless you mentioned it just now.
Jezebel almost looks like as if she's a little flustered at that for a second.
I'll be
And
sure
then she
to
quickly
take that.
she quickly pulls out 10 gold and she goes, "You didn't hear anything."
He sort of looks to the god and then he says, "I'll be sure not to pass that along to my superiors unless they directly ask." And he takes the gold.
Good man. She sighs, exasperated, and then just walks away.
Information can never be kept secret forever.
Yep. She in her head she figures, okay, yeah, we're definitely not friends.
he lets you go. But, yeah. What do you do now?
I'm gonna go back to the inn and order a few drinks.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because I just basically threatened my employer. So yeah, I'm going to try to get.
I mean, he wouldn't be a good rogue if you'd been able to tell.
Of course, but still, she's still trying to process the fact that she probably almost just lost her her good standing she worked so hard for. So yeah, she's drowning her sorrows in alcohol tonight.
Alright, with that said, we now have a certain experiment you want to do, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Charlotte, you find Cicada sitting nearby your workshop reading a book about workout routines.
Would this be near Shiva?
It's like somewhere nearby, not quite near anything in particular. Maybe by the
Okay.
pond.
Okay. So I walked over to the house. Like, okay, you ready?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's good. I might need some advice. Focus on work.
Okay.
Right, Chi? Girl calls out to the house.
Yes?
Don't touch anything when I'm in here, okay?
What do you mean I can't leave the house? It's the middle of the day. Where am I going to go?
Don't touch my things is what I'm saying. I know you like doing that when I'm working. I noticed the wrench moving.
I'm touching it! She literally has just a single finger on it.
Gee.
Probably mildly annoyed at this.
I'm going to move it.
Charlotte takes the wrench from her. Done. So
Alright,
organized, too.
fine, I'll behave.
Good.
Hi, Raichi.
Hey?
No, she's not interested in letting you drink her.
You don't know that.
Is-
She could be a rather open donor. Who knows? I mean, I am very starving. You'd want to help me get a bite to eat, right? She
This is
chuckles
something else.
comfortable with
Cicada.
she chuckles and says, "Relax, I'm kidding." I'll leave you two to it. I'm gonna go downstairs and take a nap. Yep.
Okay.
And she heads downstairs.
So, Cicada, what I'm testing is the properties of a soul. Nah, I need to test an actual soul real quick.
Properties of a soul, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, what would you like me to do?
Ooh.
I'm honestly not too sure, so I'm assuming we're going to test this one bit by bit. So I'm going to need you to lay on the table and just try not to move while I'm working on you for like 10 minutes. Maybe an hour. It'll be fine, I promise.
D&D meets Operation.
No.
It'll be fine.
Roll D20 to see if you hit the corners.
Oh no.
It'll be fine. I'm assuming this will be fine, so don't worry about it. I wouldn't think too hard on it. I'm just not lying to you, so you take care.
Okay. I trust you on this.
Have I ever been wrong before, Cicada?
Yes.
I
Alright,
can
this
name
one's
at least
just-
one time you were wrong.
Well, you only miss every shot you don't take, Cicada, so I'm willing to take the shot for you. Don't worry.
Or
Just
You
lay
know
it on the
what?
table and just like try to think happy thoughts. That's what I try to do.
Okay.
So Charlotte puts on her fancy looking new goggles and she works her way on the cicada, touching parts that just didn't feel natural for you.
Eh,
Huh, okay.
should I be awake for this?
So it kind of feels like you're naked, but all Charlotte is doing is lightly touching the air above your clothes.
Huh. So if I just do like this, she just pokes a little hard. Okay, okay. And she just does this for like legitly almost an hour until she was satisfied. Do I need to roll anything?
Yeah, roll tools, I guess, because you're using tools.
Tool. Okay, I am using some tools. Yeah, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it,
No.
Jessica. It's okay.
No, I don't.
It's fine.
You should know the rule. You don't tell someone not to worry, especially a warrior like me, because then you're gonna worry
No,
even
no,
more.
no. It's fine. I'm gonna use Smith's
No.
tools. I'm using some smithing on some
You do anything to cicada, I'm gonna kill you.
I'm gonna. Don't worry. It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
So, basically, what happens, Cicada, and for you, Charlotte? I'll describe what happens for Cicada first, and then I'll explain what happens to Charlotte. So,
Okay.
Cicada, you feel a strange chill enter your body. It's almost as if something is clutching your heart. And you can feel and you can hear your heartbeat heavy in your ears. Charlotte, you feel a shiver go down your spine as you manage to take off the tiniest bit of your own soul and tether it to the cicadas. It doesn't bond right away, and it takes you a bit to push it in and make sure it's locked in place. But eventually it does get locked in place. And it's as you're doing this that you notice there's something odd about Cicada's soul compared to the souls you've seen with your goggles. Her soul seems to be. There seems to be two of them. Now, the second one is rather small, and it's almost as if it's hiding behind cicadas, as if it's trying not to be noticed by you. But with that roll, you noticed it there. What do?
Well, now I'm curious, so I'm gonna try to prod that little tiny soul that down there.
As you
I want to
poke
see what it reacts.
Cicada and Charlotte, your vision goes black. The next thing you know, you are both watching through eyes that aren't yours, hearing things that you can't quite understand. Your body doesn't feel quite yours as well. You feel your feet walk down the steps. Your voice is silent, unable to move but observe, but simply to watch. The figure walks up these stairs that are in the middle of a black, featureless void. The stairs themselves seem to be made out of the same material that surrounds you in all directions. They seem to form in front of the person you are, and then fade into the darkness as you walk past them. This continues for a time. And then you return, your eyes both opening up, and you're back in the workshop.
Cicada just gasping for air.
Same with Charlotte. What happened? That
I
wasn't natural.
I don't know. What did you do?
I poked something I shouldn't have. I'm sorry. I saw another soul.
What? I beg your
It
pardon?
was, it was a small one. Yours.
You guys are
That's
uninjured, but you do take 1 psychic damage.
figures.
Now I gotta go down to 72. Damn it. Sorry. That wasn't part of the test I wanted to do, but got me. Yes.
What exactly was the test exactly?
I tethered part of my soul to yours.
I
Wanted to test how I can control or react my soul to other people. And I wanted to do it without, or want to do it with non-artificial. Basically, in the end of it all, it doesn't affect you too much, from what I've learned. But I can rush to your aid whenever you're a good bit away.
A voice calls out from below. You know, it'd be easier if you just showed her. It's pretty cool. I remember you doing it to me.
Charlotte simply sighs, and then she just lifts up her goggles, and yeah, you just you hear like a small popping effect. It's like Charlotte made that with her mouth, and she's gone.
Yo.
And then she pops right back in front of Skater like that.
What?
Well, it wouldn't work exactly that way.
Aw, I thought
Sorry,
it did.
but you can only do one person at a time. Otherwise,
Oh, okay. That'd be really overpowered. I guess
otherwise that would be way too overpowered. So what
Alright, well, Charlotte's
actually?
gonna walk down.
So what
Go ahead, sorry.
happens is you walk down the stairs and out of the room and leave Cicada there, and then with a you appear in front of Cicada.
Okay, that's fair. That's
You-
more balanced.
You can teleport now?
Only right next to you.
Oh.
I can jump through space into a person.
Huh. I'm guessing this
Figure
is kind of like how you used to be able to do portals, so... Huh.
I'm practicing with more ways to split souls, but I've been using the animatronics for that. Like how I can connect my consciousness to them.
And you decided to have me as your first test subject.
No, not technically true, right? She was first tech subject. She really was eager for it.
Oh.
I mean, it means we get to be joined eternally forever. Ain't that romantic? She's shouting this out, by the way.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
also-
no, I getcha.
Neko, that's not exactly what it is. Like, that's not exactly how it works, right? She's just a bit of a romantic.
No, I getcha. In theory, I guess. But yeah, that's it. I connect to another person, basically.
Huh. That's actually really cool.
I can also see other souls based off my goggles. I'm able to work on. Seems like I'm able to mess around with souls based off my.
You were able to see an anomaly in my soul.
Wasn't your soul? It was something else's. Not gonna tell.
Is that what that
Yes, it-
vision was?
That soul that's behind yours, shielded behind it, likely was hiding. Look.
Hmm.
very weak. I would even consider it barely alive. But that's just best.
That is very weird, and I'm afraid of thinking about it.
I wouldn't think about it too hard yet. We need more.
Eh,
Still, I got a really awkward conversation to make in the future anyway.
okay.
Right,
I'm
Chief?
sure it's
Yeah?
You want to meet my parents?
Oh, you mean bitch 1 and dick 2?
That's accurate. I'm gonna have to do this one way or another. This is the way I feel like it's best. So I need you to come with me when it's nighttime.
Her head pokes out and she says, sure, I'll help you.
Appreciate it.
what's this about your parents?
They don't really listen. Kind of drag me back to the Elf City. Now I figured it's time to slam my foot down. But I don't have the good words for it. Never was.
Oh. Yeah, I don't think this is any of my business.
Sorry. Doesn't involve you,
Gotcha.
and we got other things to worry about.
Yeah. Anyway.
So, I will mention this to you, Neku. The soul is still there, by the way. On Cicada.
Okay.
I'm
Is it
just
still
letting you know.
actively trying to hide from me?
Yes, it is.
Cicada, when you got time into, I would like to sit down and look more.
Okay. I mean,
Doesn't have to be now.
we still have plenty of free time at the moment. I'm just gonna be around studying this new workout routine. It's called Yoga, I think. It's pronounced yoga.
Sounds painful. Good luck with that.
That was painful.
I think I've seen people do it. They seem to be really relaxed.
Oh yeah, I had a vampire friend who did that for, yeah, they did it for a couple of years and then they died. The death was unrelated. They twisted their neck.
Oh. That's too bad.
Why did this-
It was during yoga, but it wasn't related. They just, oh, they yogaed too hard that the adventurers snuck up on them.
Oh, it's pronounced yoga? Okay.
Yoja.
Wait till I'm-
It's actually pronounced Yoja.
Yoga. Okay.
Yo. Charlie just says, and interested now.
Hey! She finger guns you.
I'm confused now.
Also,
This is-
do remember, Charlotte, vampire can't go outside during the day.
That's why I said at night is when we're doing that.
Right?
Charlie did remember that.
Alright.
Okay, I'm just gonna go out and get some fresh air in the sun for a bit.
Sure.
That made me feel really uncomfortably cold.
I agree. But welcome to the workshop. This is a normal day, for me, honest.
Okay.
Right, as you're leaving, you see Raichi suddenly charge across and dash over to a desk and then slightly push a wrench.
Charlie starts cocking her gun.
She's getting out of there.
You just hear a
Yeah.
random gunshot fire. I told you, stop moving my stuff.
Yikes!
Right.
So aggressive.
Ah!
I'm getting out of there.
So, Cicada, do you do anything else today?
Just gonna continue reading up on this book and trying to figure out this yoga, whatever it's pronounced.
Alright, roll intelligence.
Intelligence. Okay.
Oh, question for Cicada, if I may ask. Do you have little Cicada with you?
Yeah.
Okay. No reason. Just wanted to ask.
So, you
Uh,
managed to get a decent idea of what the book is saying. There's a beginner beginner workout that they recommend you start with, and it's a good thing you did because immediately afterwards you are exhausted. You gain 1 point of exhaustion.
oh, so much for praying to the sun and.
You did finish the workout though. And the book even praises you and says, if you manage to make it this far, congratulations. In 1 to 2 months, you'll be seeing a new you. So basically, if you want to raise your strength score, you have to spend 2 months doing this and getting a point of exhaustion once a day.
That is reasonable and realistic.
I like that.
So yeah.
I like that the
Very
book just the book has to congratulate you. That's the funny part. It's like, congratulations, you made it this far. I'm surprised you haven't burned this book yet. Thank you for reading it.
Yeah, basically, the further into the book you go, the more the exercises become, more just like, you've not gotten this far. There's no way. But thanks for reading this far, and thanks for buying our book. And please, would you consider maybe buying more of our books? And then they mention a wife, and then they mention a family, and it just gets more and more mad and nonsensical. But the exercises are good.
Okay.
It's actually a book I would write. This is the book I would write.
That's not a good for Cicada. she's gonna feel guilt tripped.
Guilt tripped by the book.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. That's me done.
So, Charlotte, what do you do?
I wait for nightfall, or when it gets dark enough for light you to leave.
Alright, so, does anyone have anything they do during the day?
Again,
Okay,
Claire's doing performances.
okay. Then with that, night falls.
Alright,
Raichi?
let's go.
Raichi dashes out of the shed and motions her arms wide and goes, I'm free! Ah!
That is one way of.
Can you smell that? It's fresh air! I completely forgot how delicious it smells. Oh my god. She begins sniffing aggressively.
Charlotte just watches this, like almost trying to hold a laugh.
You have to remember, she hasn't gone outside in probably months at this point.
Yeah, she was like a prisoner in that shed. So, yeah, you enjoy the fresh air.
She eventually stops and then says, Don't patronize me, you shut-in nerd. She then
That's a
walks
low blow.
She then walks over and pokes you on the nose and then says, I know. She winks. Well, shall we?
Yeah, this is going in a train wreck, I believe.
So, she follows you over to where your family is.
Char looks over to the group of her friends for walking to the house, to the tent to hell at the house.
Your friends or your crew?
The crew, basically.
Okay, just checking because there's 2 groups here. The crew,
Yeah.
all, they give you nods. One of them gives you a salute. They welcome you.
Okay. Then Charlotte then looks to the tent to house their family and open and
You step inside and find your mum serving up a large pot of soup into 3 bowls. One for her, one for your dad, and one for you.
back.
Welcome back, dear. She walks over and gives you a big hug. I just finished dinner. Would you like to join us? I've already served your plate. Come on, sit down, sit down.
Charlotte doesn't leave her spot. Looks to her. I'm not going to the elf.
What? Of course you are. Just don't worry about it. We can sort it out later. Just come and join me for dinner. Come and join us for dinner. You're not too old. You won't have dinner with your family, right? No one's too old for that.
No. Yeah. Got people depending.
Neku, your
Yeah.
noise cancellation keeps cutting you off. Can you speak just slightly louder?
Okay. No, Mom, I'm not eating with you tonight.
Yeah, there you go. That's better. She looks to you and then says, well, okay. Do you want to eat together tomorrow then?
I'm not too sure when I'm leaving.
All right, I'll prepare some extras for tomorrow just in case then. She picks up the bowl and pours the rest back into the pot for later. And then she sits down and starts to eat her food. Well, if you're not joining us for dinner, why don't you at least sit with us?
Is Raichi allowed in?
Raichi. Who?
My friend.
Oh, right, the friend. I remember. Yeah, of course she's allowed in.
Raichi can't kink or Charlotte kinks her head over to Raichi. You got permission.
Raichi steps inside. You see your mother's demeanor immediately changes the moment she notices the pale complexion and the teeth that are poking out. And she stares at Raichi. What is this?
What do you mean?
That's not that's not Raichi, that's a monster.
No, this is Raichi.
And do you know that for certain? How are you sure that it's not just something that's taken on her form and is trying to trick you so it can get it alone? She actually stands up and then says, Out! Out! I won't have no vampires in my tent. Raichi
You
speaks
kicked her out.
up.
Oh.
Raichi speaks up briefly just to say, I mean, I only need permission to enter once you've given that you can't really kick me out.
If you kick out my lover, Mom, then you also gonna.
She looks to you at that, and she covers her mouth as shock quickly turns to horror. Oh no. You've been made a thrall, haven't you? Of course. It all makes sense. Your reluctance, your hesitance to be with... It all makes sense now. She rushes over and grabs both your hands and says, Don't worry, Charlotte. We'll rescue you, okay? We'll get you out of this.
I looked for right for years. Idiot. God. Didn't look hard enough. This result is what happened.
And I understand. I understand. It's very sad and it's very rough and I'm so sorry for you, but don't worry, we will get you out of this.
You don't understand. You don't understand anything I do. My inventions are knickknacks to you. You don't even know how they work. She shows off her first invention. What does this even do? Do you know? It works. It works properly.
What was her first invention again? The recorder?
It was a voice. Yeah, the recorder.
Right. She looks through the recorder and says, it's a music maker. It plays the music.
No. She pushes the device to her mom's hand. Use it.
She turns it in her hands and then says, she puts it to her ear. And then lowers it. She doesn't know how to turn it on.
No, I know. That's the point. Charlotte. Go ahead.
She just sort of goes, I don't know. You never showed us how it works. You just made it work. It was like magic.
Magic. My art or work to you. Did you ask how it worked? Were you ever interested in my knickknacks?
I mean, I just thought it was similar to seamstressing. You sew the pieces together and bam, it works. I'm not like your grandmother. I don't really work with knickknacks like this. I was always
Yes,
more
you are
interested
your
in
own.
clothes.
Yes, Grandma was very well versed in the. She made a lot of people smile with it, as I'm sure you made some people smile with your clothing. But those are two different worlds. Live in two separate worlds, two separate realities.
No, we're both in the same tent. What?
We don't share this art. And that's what.
She looks to you as she starts to realize what you're actually saying. And she falls silent, looking down as she begins to play with her fingers in thought.
I'm happy with where I'm at. I don't need money as much as you want me to be married into wealth, be happy that way. I'm not a material person. I'm happy with right, happy with my friends, and I'm happy making people enjoy and love.
For how long? Do you know how much? What? Do you know why your grandmother had to continue making those silly contraptions? It was because she never saved up enough money that she could retire. She had to work until she died. Do you really want that for yourself?
When I watched my grandma, when I watched Char make all those inventions, even when she was on her last breath, she did it with a smile.
You know nothing. She covers her mouth and she begins to cry. She says, you have no idea how much she went through just to keep food on the table for me. For us.
And
She
you
just
made me
shakes
go to
her
the
head
military.
and she shakes her head and moves over to your father, who hugs her and she buries her head in his chest.
Charlotte doesn't say anything else. She closes her eyes. And then she turned.
Do what you wish. But when you're old and frail, having to earn 5 copper a day just to get food on the table so your children don't starve, and you smile because you want them to be happy even though you're not happy. You know nothing. She was never happy with that life. You're so ungrateful. Just go. Go live your supposedly happy life.
I will.
And when you're old and on your deathbed, crying and alone because you have no family to care for you, too poor to afford any doctors, I hope you remember that you had a... And she turns her head away.
Charlotte walks to the table, sets down her 7 silver, all out her name. Okay, I'm still in here.
Huh?
I'm still here. Okay. So Charlotte walks over to the table, sets down the 7 silver that's all
The 7 silver that...
that's all she has.
Okay.
She sets down her 7 silver, walks away. The life you give me, hell. The one you made me go was.
Could you speak a little louder? You're breaking up again.
Oh my god. The life you given me was hell.
You came in clear there.
Okay.
It's just you got a softer voice when you're speaking to Charlotte.
I guess.
They say nothing as
The
you
life-
leave. Go on, sorry.
The pain I have seen, death. That's enough for me to realize that wasn't. She walks.
They say nothing as you and Rachi walk away. Bleh. Rachi places a hand on your shoulder.
Charlotte looks down and she doesn't say a word. Kept walking us.
We're here for you if you need us, alright?
Doesn't. But in a way that tells me lives.
I'm sorry, you cut out again.
I really just don't know what to do anymore. I'm sorry. I'm just getting really upset over this shit.
Discord's messing with me too. I keep hearing things in and out.
You know what, I think I got an idea. Hold on a second. It might be to do with the server that we're where would it be? OG. No wait, it's in yeah, right. Region override. Let's set it to you guys are on the east coast, west coast?
Yes.
Central.
I'll just set it to central
West.
then. Alright, you're gonna reconnect. Alright.
Okay.
Let's see if that's a little clearer for everyone.
Yeah.
Because I was in here first, it probably set the region to Australia, which is bad for you guys. Alright, Hey everyone,
Okay.
is that better?
Should be.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright.
Charlotte just mentioned it still hurts. And it may never not. But at least I can tell I'm alive.
I mean, at least you know your family. Mine dumped me at the door of the orphanage. Welcome back.
Kind of how we got along together when we were running the streets most of the time. My
Yeah.
mom would make me leave at the house so frequently.
Well, you got a new home. I mean, well, we're technically renting it. We really should ask. You really should ask that guy that, and she points to the building that owns the place that you guys like to sleep in if, you can actually have the building, because I get the feeling he gets a little, what's the word? Disgruntled.
I mean, I already asked him if I can have the workshop fully for space.
Yeah, that's true.
But if you
That's
actually
true.
want an actual good place, you could actually pick up a residence there. I'll
I
ask
get
about it.
Yeah. Looks like Ninja's having issues now. Let me just...
Curse you, Discord.
Let me see, what time is it? So, yeah. Can watch the stream. And let me grab a link to my Twitch so that they can watch there. Bam. Since they're having issues, they can just watch the last little bit there. Alright. So. Yeah, Jezebel's gone. Jezebel's very drunk and fell asleep with Cicada and the cat. So, Cicada, you wake up in the morning and there's a Jezebel on top of you. Well, beside you, but you know what I mean.
No, actually, can we have it that she's on top of her? That'd be kind of.
Jezebel's
I'm okay with
larger,
that.
so that wouldn't really work.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
She's
It's drunk
hugging her like a
Isabella.
plushie.
Yeah, exactly. There we go.
She's not surprised.
Alright. So, with that scene done, is there anything anyone else would like to do before we wrap this session up?
Yes.
No?
Charlotte's gonna pop in place in front of Cicada while Jezebel is passed out. She says, "How's it going?"
Push.
This is fine.
Let me move you guys to the couch.
So, tomorrow, soul poking.
I guess.
Great to hear. Also, do you know where Cricket's at? Should I just try to talk to him again?
Maybe when I'm
Do you
unoccupied.
remember, or do you need me to refresh your memory?
Okay.
Do you
Can
remember?
please refresh my memory?
Okay. Cricket said he's currently looking for the final stones. The gems?
He's still on a search mission.
What else? Really? Okay.
Yeah.
I'll try to talk to him telepathically and ask about it.
Okay.
You have fun. Charlotte pats Jezebel's head. She's on top of Cicada.
No, my buds.
That'll be
Okay.
it.
Okay.
What do you say to Cricket then?
I'm just gonna ask Cricket if well, Charlotte's gonna try to do a message to Cricket.
Mm-hmm. What do you say?
Cricket, Cricket, I'd like to ask a favor.
Yes.
Raichi and I wanted to actually have more of a stable and more comfy place to sleep at. Are we able to take it part of your house, or would you like to make a deal or a contract with that?
There's a bit of a long pause, and then he says, "What sort of contract are you considering?"
I guess we can discuss that in a later term, but I would like to negotiate a part of a house so I can have a place for me and Raichi to sleep at.
Very well. We shall discuss the terms when I return. Until then, you are free to use one of the rooms upstairs.
Is there a way that you can tell Raichi that she's welcome in the house? I don't remember if that was a...
In truth, the vampire welcoming thing only requires someone to welcome them into the house. It does not need to be the owner.
Ah. That sounds very vague and exploitable. Charlotte just says.
It is not uncommon for vampires to use the cantrip that makes noises to make the noise of someone welcoming them in.
That sounds very exploitable. Isn't it? Sounds like a really silly and unneeded rule then.
It is.
Ah. I see we have reached an understanding then. You take care, buddy.
He nods. Oh wait. He nods, then stops and says, "Oh right, you cannot see me." I nodded.
I felt it, don't worry. Charlotte's lying, but she's gonna try and encourage him.
And yeah, we'll wrap the session up with that little bit of dub. Thank you all for tuning in. We'll see you all next week. Bye bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye.